Hello and welcome to Coffee Chats. I'm Morgan and this is my discussion video on The Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll. I'm aware that that really throws off my white balance, so that's probably all we're going to see of that cover. So, oh my goodness you guys, it is so late at night. My family is going to hear me talking and just think I am a lunatic, but I really wanted to film this discussion video today. I've just been procrastinating all day and that is why I did not film this earlier, but I have a lot of thoughts on this book and I wanted to film while it was all still fresh. So this particular video is definitely going to be filled with spoilers. I recommend you just don't watch it if you haven't read The Luckiest Girl Alive, but I am going to film a dual review with this book and another thriller type book, and that should already be up. We're just filming things out of order. So I'll link that somewhere down there, something, if you want to check out my non-spoilery thoughts on this book. I gave The Luckiest Girl Alive 2.5 stars on Goodreads. For the most part, I really wasn't feeling it, but there were a couple of redeeming things in there. So let's just get into this. I'm sure I'm going to bring this up in my non-spoilery stuff too, but The Luckiest Girl Alive is kind of being marketed as this summer's Gone Girl, which I take a lot of issue with. It is not Gone Girl. It is nothing like Gone Girl. I don't even know if I would call it a thriller. I feel like it's kind of just trying to ride on the coattails of the thriller trend that's going on right now, but I'll get into that more as I discuss more specific plot points. So our main character in The Luckiest Girl Alive is named Ani, and personally, I hated her, which was a problem because it was from her perspective, but I don't feel like you have to like a main character to enjoy a book. It is okay to have unlikable main characters, but Ani was ridiculous. One major problem that I took with her is that she actually describes herself as a feminist. She says something along the lines of her fiance can't stand when she brings up this kind of feminist stuff and whatever. She thinks she's a feminist, but she's the opposite of a feminist. She, especially in the modern day perspective, even more so than in the flashbacks, is so horrible to women. She shoots down other women all the time and is just the most negative character I've ever experienced, and if I encountered her in real life, I would run the other way as soon as possible. One of the reasons that Ani might be this way is she works in the magazine industry, which in the book is portrayed as really shallow and kind of awful in my opinion, yet she still wants to be there, so you know, whatever, more power to her, I guess. Nah. But it's so much about the magazine industry, especially in the first chunk, in the first 100 pages or so. Like, it felt like I was reading Gossip Girl or something. I don't know that much about Gossip Girl, so, you know, don't hate me. But there was no substance. It was just like reading about her New York social life and her classy fiance and her classy friends, and what? I did not sign up for that. It wasn't cool. I didn't enjoy that portion of the book. So let's talk about the flashbacks a little before I get ahead of myself. The rape scenes come fairly early on in her flashbacks. I felt like it almost would have made the book stronger if they had come even earlier on, because it was still probably about a third of the way into the book before the rape scenes came, and these scenes were one of the better parts of the book, one of the parts of the book that I didn't dislike, honestly, because 90% of this book I was not into it, but the rape scenes were pretty well done, and I also felt like they were handled pretty well. The author really delved into the realm of both victim blaming and erasure of the fact of rape, and I respected the way she did that. I didn't have any problems with it. which is a good thing because it's a really heavy topic to take on, and I respected the way she did it. I wasn't mad at it. Alright, so let's talk about the one part of the book that honestly bumped my rating up from a 1.5 star to a 2.5 star. By the way, this is a major spoiler, so if you happen to still be watching, this is kind of, in the book, the plot twist or the big reveal, what have you. The event that I'm talking about is the school shooting scene, and this comes at about the midpoint of the book, and I feel like they were trying to do the big Gone Girl kind of thing where a big reveal comes in the middle, but it just didn't work out for him that much. I wish that, like I said, the rapes had come sooner, and I wish that the school shooting had come way sooner, because they're just, the way they did this reveal was kind of cheap. I felt like the plot wasn't moving along naturally. This kind of just kickstarted it, and it wasn't like a mystery or anything. I just wasn't into it. But the scene itself was on point. Oh my goodness, it blew me away. I was reading it at like 2 in the morning as I was babysitting at someone's house, and whoa, it blew my mind. I consider myself a person who is pretty used to blood and gore. I mean, I watch every crime and murder show imaginable. I see horror movies, you know, all that stuff. I don't exclusively read violent books, but I have read my fair share of violent books. But this school shooting scene still got to me in a major way, and it blew me away. Like, it was so good, and I'm not bashing it when I say that it's gory. Like, it was awesome, and I loved it, because I don't always have things that can shock me just because of gore and I guess shock value itself, but this did. The scene on itself stands so strong, and I don't know, I don't really recommend this book as a whole, but I just kind of wish people who enjoy, you know, bloodier stuff like me, I don't know, I wish that y'all could just read the scene because it's so good. I mean, I guess if you're watching this video, you have read the scene, so whatever. So the scene itself starts off as really chaotic, and Tiffany, I guess at that point, she's not Ani, is being pulled through the hallway by some of her friends and being told to get out. And then the first shooter, whose name? Ben is his name. I'm yelling. I should be quieter, like I said. Family is sleeping. Ben comes to their hiding place where they're hiding under a table. Like, come on, amateurs. Have you never seen a horror movie? But that scene, and that girl who was like class president or whatever, like drama girl, she dies, and they talk about the thud of her head, and I was like, ooh, yeah, it's good. It hit me. And then when Ben comes down under the table and shoots Peyton, and all the descriptions of Peyton, like, I remember his name, and he wasn't even like too big of a character, but he just, yeah, it stuck with me so much. And oh my gosh, the stuff about like half of his face just basically being gone. Oh my goodness. It was so cool. It was so intense. Like, man, blew me away. A+. And, you know, then they keep running, and Ani and the shark, poor shark being called that the whole time, they are some of the only people who get out that they've seen, and Ani encounters Arthur, and that moment was so impactful. And I mean, it's really chaotic, and Dean getting shot and Ani attacking Arthur, like, wow. So good. I don't even have words. I kind of just recapped it for you, but just know that I loved that scene. You can probably tell. I felt like it was really unique in the realm of stuff that I've read, and it blew me away. It was amazing. So good. So we'll get away from that scene and just kind of talk about the end of the book. I didn't love it, the modern day stuff. I felt that the self-discovery was just cheesy and forced, and Ani went from being a really deplorable character to like a self-actualized, still deplorable character. I don't know. And this might be an unpopular opinion, but Ani didn't even stick to her guns at the end. She, like, the frame thing with Arthur was the straw that broke the camel's back and all, but I really just felt like so much of this book was focused on the fact that Ani had built up this life for herself, and Luke was a major part of that life. And then she just walks out on him, and I know he's not a good guy, I'm not defending that or anything like that, but personally, I think I would have rather seen her stay with him. Like, it would have been a little bit more unsettling. I don't know. I just feel like some of the major complaints that I have with this book are the pacing, definitely, and the fact that I don't think this book knew what it wanted to be. Okay, I think it wanted to be maybe Gone Girl 2.0. Maybe I would have preferred if they had advertised it as a book about a girl recuperating from a school shooting. I don't know. I don't know how to make it better, really. I just know that I didn't like it that much, even though I wanted to. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it, but that mostly stems from the one scene that I liked so much. The rest I didn't. I'm curious about what you guys thought of this book, so let me know below. And I actually read a fair amount of this sort of stuff. I don't read a ton of adult fiction, but I love thrillers, and they're kind of lacking in the YA genre, but so I go to adult books. So you might see more videos like this from me in the future, so I hope you liked it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sarah and I will see you guys soon. You can check out the down bar for some more of our links, and yep, that's it. Bye guys!